The story you are about to hear is true. Only the names have been changed. Only the names have been changed.
So why do people act in such a terrible way, defaming the dead, victims of a terrible crime? It didn't make any sense. So I looked into it. So it takes more than one occurrence to make a nightmare. What we've seen is defaming of the victim and her family from several sources, including Facebook groups and YouTube channels. So what kind of person defames the dead? Why did they do it? The only real scientific explanation I could find was the just world hypothesis. This is the idea that people need to believe one will get what one deserves so strongly that they will rationalise an inexplicable injustice by naming things the victim might have done to deserve it. This is also known as blaming the victim, the just world fallacy, or the just world effect. So why do people believe in this? Well, there's the fear of facing vulnerability. People do not like to think about themselves as being the victims of a violent crime. So when they hear about one, they tend to blame that event on the victim's behaviour. This allows people to believe they can avoid being victims of a crime just by not being like that victim. It also minimises anxiety. It helps to make them feel safe. In a world where other people are completely responsible for their misfortune, people go on believing that the world is fair and just. So an example of just world would be, because it's far too frightening for many to accept that bad things can happen to good people, and therefore they themselves have no control over whether bad things might happen to them someday, they will instead search for ways to differentiate themselves from victims of ill fortune. For example, an outsider might deride a person whose house was destroyed by a tornado, blaming them for choosing to live in a disaster-prone area, or for not building a stronger house. So believers in just world were also found to have fairly harsh and hostile attributes and delinquent intentions. Additionally, they feel less of a need to engage in activities to change society or alleviate the plight of social victims. So this was based on an experiment by Melvin Lerner and Carolyn Simmons in 1965. One of these involved shocking a participant in a study. The subject plays the part of an innocent victim being shocked against her will. People observing this formed a much lower opinion of them than people who weren't observing it. This was to draw a line between her fate, which was the shocks, and her character. They felt that she deserved it because that gave them comfort. If she deserved what she's getting, then that absolves them of blame for that. The study also suggests that this intolerance for suffering is only applied to other people and not the just world hypothesis believers themselves. Funny that. So what happens when somebody with just world hypothesis has to leave their comfort zone and a terrible murder occurs, where someone who seems to be a happy family man murders his beautiful wife, 2 gorgeous daughters, and their unborn son? How does that compute with people who believe in just world? Well, of course, they lay the foot at the victim. Because it would be unseemly to blame the children, that blame ended up with Shanann. So in amongst our combination of people involved in the defaming of Shanann Rzucek, we also have our flying monkeys. I've discussed flying monkeys before, but it is a term to discuss the hangers-on of a narcissist who support and defend everything they do. And like the Wicked Witch of the West's flying monkeys in The Wizard of Oz, they are brainwashed minions that carry out the narcissist's bidding. Also, often narcissists themselves, they deliberately go out to ensure that only their opinion is the right opinion. So what do we end up with? We end up with a group of just world believers who think that everybody gets what they deserve, And we also end up with Intwixt in this little group of flying monkeys who don't give a monkeys about our just world believers, but will manipulate them to make them think their opinion and only their opinion counts. We then get an example of groupthink. So when we all agree, when we are happy with that agreement, we typically don't want to hear opposing arguments. That's what's known as groupthink. It can lead to impulsive decisions and a failure to identify and/or consider all sides of an argument. If the group is cohesive, they agree on most issues, they tend to stifle dissent because group harmony is the anticipated outcome. So, because of groupthink, people can become desensitized by witnessing the actions of their group, and that normalizes a behaviour. In a group with a good leader, this can be a positive thing, but with a bad leader, not so much. People can assume that someone else will speak up because there's so many people in that group, so nobody says anything at all. And by staying in their group, it can appear to one person that they are in a majority, giving them the confidence to say unpleasant things they wouldn't otherwise say. So then we end up with a delightful combo of just world believers, flying monkeys, and groupthink. Oh, and don't even get me started on the Dunning-Kruger effect. Just let me say, if somebody has to tell you how smart they are, they're probably not that smart. Just saying. So while these people have reasons for acting the way they do and saying the things they do, most of us, well, let's face it, we just think that. So this isn't the only reason though that people say defamatory things on YouTube. One of the reasons is outrage clickbait. YouTube is a war for your attention. We want you to come and see our videos. We want you to engage with our channel. And the reason that some people say horrible things is because they want you to click that video. Did you know that outrage is the second highest common cause for things being shared in email? People aren't silly. They know this. This is why they make these titles for their videos. This is why they make videos about horrible things. So you will be angry and you will watch it, become enraged, and then watch the next one and the next one. Emotion is a huge reason to click on a video. The bigger the emotion is, the more you click. So provoking outrages causes more clicks, which means more money for that creator and more engagement for that creator. So did this change my opinion of what I've seen? Absolutely not. Do I think there's a justification for it? Absolutely not. But there is good news. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what those people say. We see the light that shone from Shanann. We appreciate her. We support the Rzuceks. I am one of many creators, and other people are one of thousands upon thousands who support the Rzucek family. And I made myself a promise that I will not be involved with anything that's toxic. So this is the last I will say about these people. Anyway, I hope this helped explain things a bit more. Do be wary of being deceived. I'm going to look at that in the next video. Bye for now.